please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
A very good evening and welcome back. It is being dubbed by the government as the world's largest state-sponsored healthcare scheme. In the budget, the government announced the National Health Protection Scheme, which aims at providing health insurance cover to 10 crore poor families. Now, the Niti Aayog has been tasked to design and help rollout of this ambitious scheme. Leading those efforts of the Niti Aayog is Dinesh Arora, and he spoke exclusively to CNBC TV18. He confirmed a CNBC TV18 news break that Nandan Nilekani will help build the IT infrastructure. He also revealed that the cabinet note to implement the scheme will be ready soon. Take a look.
In terms of design, implementation is much later, but in terms of design, where do things currently stand?
The scheme was announced on 1st of February. After that, on 15th, 16th, we had the major event of state-level consultations. Every state was available, participated, except Tripura, which was having elections.
Okay. So West Bengal was part of that meeting, is it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, West Bengal had their secretary presented on the IT front also, like what they have done. Now, we must understand that these consultations were meant to exchange ideas, to exchange best practices and put forward first. Then we also had meeting with the insurance companies in the ministry. So we are working on it, on track, discussing, deliberating before we roll out the design of the scheme.
Okay. By when can we expect the design of the scheme to be rolled out?
Very soon.
Give me a timeline. Very soon could mean anything. It could mean tomorrow, it could mean a few weeks, it could mean a few months.
Once the cabinet note gets approved, we have the design of the scheme ready.
Okay. And where are we in terms of getting the cabinet note ready?
Very soon, as early as in this month, I can say that.
So the cabinet note for the scheme should be ready as early as this month?
Hopefully, we should be able to get through, yes.
Dr. Dinesh, let me ask you about two specific issues now in technology. We are given to understand that Nandan Nilekani's support is being enlisted for this scheme as well. Can you give us some sense and some idea of what we should expect on that front?
Right. So IT will become perhaps the most critical element here, whether it's for claim settlement, for Aadhaar seeding, or for your fraud checking, or for your grievance redressals. Now, for IT, we have the Health Secretary has formed a committee under Mr. Satyanarayan, T. Satyanarayan. He's the chairman of UDI, and he was a former Secretary IT. And we have representative of the states. So the committee is working on it. Yes, we have also enlisted the support of Mr. Nandan Nilekani also, to take his experience also. So for IT, we have a detailed approach, which will be very soon out. We are working on this, and we also realize that IT perhaps is the most important element in this whole chain of your hospital empanelment or Aadhaar seeding or package design, which we are working on. Okay.
And by when can we expect the IT blueprint to be sort of made public?
Should be by 15th of April.
By 15th of April?
Blueprint, yes.
Okay, 15th of April, the IT blueprint should be made public.
Well, moving ahead, the government today pitched for a ratings upgrade from Fitch. CNBC TV18 learns that top North Block officials met officials from the ratings agency and cited strong economic fundamentals to reiterate their demand for a sovereign ratings upgrade. Fitch currently rates India as a BBB-, that's the lowest investment grade. Though the outlook, with a stable outlook, that's of course the Fitch outlook as far as India is concerned. The government also assured Fitch that it will bring down fiscal deficit to 3% of the GDP by 2021. The government assured that they were conscious of the impact that a high fiscal deficit has on inflation. Well, on to an exclusive from the GST space. Sources tell us that the top officials from the PMO are set to meet exporters on Friday to discuss delay in GST refunds. This after Commerce Minister Suresh Prabhu raised those concerns with the Prime Minister's office. Exporters claim that so far the government has released only 25% of their IGST claims, which stand at around 10,000 crore rupees. On the input tax credit front, only 10% of the total refund claims have been released. Meanwhile, government sources tell us that the Revenue Department has released around 4,000 crores of IGST refunds to exporters, and the PMO has asked the department to submit a daily status report in this matter. We also learned that the Revenue Department will soon undertake simplification of norms and procedures to claim these refunds. Well, time now for a short break, but on the other side, we will get you the highlights from our special series on revitalizing PSU banks. Stay tuned to find out what do former RBI Governor Bimal Jalan and Principal Economic Advisor Sanjeev Sanyal recommend. Well, we told you first, and now it's confirmed. Tata Steel has emerged as the highest bidder to buy a controlling stake in Bhushan Steel, which is currently undergoing bankruptcy proceedings. Now, the company issued a statement confirming that it has been identified as the highest evaluated complaint resolution in terms of the debt-laden company, Bhushan Steel, as of right now. But the process is not over yet. The advisors to Committee of Creditors and Resolution Professional of Bhushan Steel are still in discussions with Tata Steel on the resolution plan, and the final decision is still awaited. Well, now to our special series, PSB 2.0, where India's brightest minds suggest ways in which India's public sector banks can be nursed back to good health. Well, the former RBI Governor Bimal Jalan called for an autonomous body like the Election Commission to oversee governance of the PSU banks. He believes that the state-run banks should not be governed by the Department of Financial Services. Meanwhile, the Principal Economic Advisor, that's Sanjeev Sanyal, said that there are not immediate plans to privatize PSU banks. He also asserted that the state-run banks are an essential vehicle for financial inclusion.
And I think the main issue that we have to grapple with is that public sector banks, which are spread all over, decentralization. I mean, I am in favor of decentralization. That is how a public sector bank should be run. That must be delegated and decentralized to the what you might say an autonomous agency. So supposing now today, if you took a look at the public sector banks and you have a banking bureau, so you don't need a department of banking per se. You see what I mean? I mean, I was a banking, as you know, I was secretary of banking department and all that, and we try to decentralize. But I think that you can decentralize and you can monitor, I mean, how they are performing, and you can hold.
More efficient private sector banks or foreign banks or whoever they are, or even NBFCs for that matter, grow faster than these public sector banks. Some of them which are under now sort of being, the RBI is directly managing them, as you may know, currently will essentially be restricted to some form of narrow banking. So their growth will be restricted and so on. So there can be, one way of going about it is organically let one side grows just by virtue of being more profitable, efficient, etc. You can have, for example, our corporate bond market needs to grow. Okay, it's grown, but it's still quite very lightweight. And here, the point is, we could seriously begin to think about the frameworks required for it. One obvious one, where incidentally the government should begin to pay some attention, is to create a much more liquid, risk-free yield curve.
Well, from the world of banking to the world of insurance, and this is a CNBC. For the next chairman of the IRDA has gained momentum. We have been told that the government-appointed selection committee has interviewed some candidates for this post. Yash Jain now joins us with more. Yash, who are the leading candidates at this stage?
Well, the selection process for the next IRDA chairman has entered its final lap, and we're given to understand that about 9 candidates have emerged for the final round of the interview, which took place on March 5th. Out of these 9 candidates, about 5 candidates have emerged from the insurance industry itself, and these include names like V.K. Sharma, who's the LIC chairman, along with 3 other managing directors of LIC, including names like Sunita Sharma, Hemant Bhargava, as well as B. Venugopal. Also from the industry, we have names like G. Srinivasan, who is the chairman and managing director of New India Assurance, as well as A.V. Girija, who is the chairman and managing director of Oriental Insurance. As far as regulatory bodies and names from that space are concerned, we have names like Nilesh Sathe, who is the member of IRDA, as well as B.S. Bhandari, who is the whole-time member of PFRDA, which is the pension regulatory body. As far as the bureaucratic circle is concerned, we have one name coming out of that space as well, and that is S. Kunthia, who is the former chief secretary for the state of Karnataka. If you remember that IRDA, the insurance regulatory body, has been running without a chairman since February 21st. So an announcement on this particular front, on the name of the next IRDA chairman, can be expected sooner than later.
Well, it's raining exclusives today. Here's another one. Then this one coming in from Deal Street. We learn from sources that Prabha Dairy is likely to see some M&A action. Existing investors are looking to exit, while new investors are looking to buy stake in the company. Nisha Poddar, who broke that story, now joins us with more details. Nisha, what are your sources telling you?
There could be a large transaction in Prabha Dairy. Sources suggest that there could be a large stake sale, and especially led by the private equity players which are invested in Prabha Dairy for a few years now. So Rabo Equity Advisors, an India-based company, and French company which is Propaco, both together own 23% stake in Prabha Dairy, and they both could be looking at an exit. I did gather from sources with direct knowledge that a lot of private equity players like TPG, Blackstone, KKR, Temasek, to name a few, have all been interested in this particular space for investments, and there could be a fair bit of attraction to Prabha Dairy stake as well. What we do have to understand is whether or not the promoters also really participate in selling controlling stake in the company. I did speak at length with the promoters, and they said that they want to remain invested in Prabha Dairy, and they have no such plans of selling their stake in the company. The stock really rose and gained a lot after we really posted this particular information. So that process is expected to be off the ground soon.
That's Nisha there getting us all the M&A action. On that note, let's slip into a very short break. But up next, has Pune become smarter in the last couple of years? We asked that question. Latest installment from our special series On the Other Side. Well, let's take a quick look at some of the other key headlines that we're tracking this evening for you. Karnataka's Lokayukta Justice P. Vishwanath Shetty was stabbed thrice inside his office today. However, he's out of danger now. The accused in this case, Tejas Sharma, has been taken into police custody. The motive behind the attack is yet to be ascertained by the police. Statue war spreads to different states. 6 people detained for defacing Shyama Prasad Mukherjee's statue in Kolkata. A statue of B.R. Ambedkar defaced in UP's Meerut. A Dravidian icon Periyar bust vandalized in Tamil Nadu's Vellore district. Sources say Prime Minister Modi disapproves of this vandalism. And no relief for Nirav Modi. Delhi High Court refuses to stay seizure of his assets and seeks details from the Enforcement Directorate. To hear the matter again on the 19th of this month, PNB MD appears before the Serious Fraud Investigation Office for questioning in the Nirav Modi fraud case. Well, now in June 2016, Prime Minister Modi flagged off the National Smart City Mission from the city of Pune. This opened the gates for 50,000 crore rupees of central funding to enter and transform 98 cities across the country. Almost 2 years on, how has Pune shaped up to compare with the rest of the cities slated for smart city status? CNBC TV18's Ashwini Pirolkar and Kevin Lee travelled to Pune to find out.
Pune was the second city in the country to be designated a smart city, losing out to Bhubaneswar by a whisker. But ever since, it has consistently outperformed Odisha's capital when it comes to pace of execution of new projects. The citizens of Pune chose the Aundh Baner Balewadi area as the epicenter of the new smart city. And when we visited the area, there were definite signs of transformation. But this has not been without its fair share of problems.
I'm on Pune's DP Road. The idea behind this particular smart city initiative was to widen the pavements, to allow people on cycles or disabled people with wheelchairs to get better access. However, in the bargain, the actual road, the actual DP road, has become half as wide as the pavement, and citizens are not reacting positively.
Aund तो पहले से ही स्मार्ट है, Aund के लोग स्मार्ट है, Aund की एरिया स्मार्ट है. आप लोगों ने दाढ़ी छोटी और मूछें बड़ी कर दी, रोड छोटे कर दिए और ये फुटपाथ बड़े कर दिए. यहाँ रात को भेड़ों का जमावड़ा लगेगा और कुछ नहीं लगेगा.
But the way the municipal corporation sees it, What's progress without some healthy debate?
I wouldn't say that everybody has bought onto the concept of the smart cities mission, but at the same time, I would say the debate, healthy debate is happening and people are looking for results. And I'm very sure that as results start coming in, people will, more and more people will be very, very positive.
And the results are coming in. A large part of Pune city has free public Wi-Fi, with 150 Wi-Fi hotspots coming online in January this year. Pune University and some of the surrounding areas also have bicycle stands where people can use an app with a QR code reader to rent out bicycles. 2 play areas cum public gyms have also been inaugurated, and overseeing all of this is the Command and Control Center, where full-time employees monitor the entire city through a network of smart sensors. The PMC's efforts have been backed by government funding at every stage.
The financial part, yes, we've got about 400 crores from the state and the center, and we put in our own money, and money so far has not been a problem.
While work on several big-ticket projects has started, there has been a lag in execution of projects that require citizen participation. For example, multiple projects involving recycling of waste or conservation of water at the household level have missed their deadlines, but the municipality doesn't seem to mind.
Maybe in some projects within the 5-year period, we may be here and there, but within the 5-year period, we should be able to complete all our 51 projects, definitely.
As things stand, 10 out of 60 proposed projects have been completed. Work on another 28 projects worth 1,770 crore rupees has either started or is in the tendering stage, and the final 22 projects worth 2,758 crore rupees is in the planning stage. This makes Pune one of the front-runners to be India's first completed smart city, even if not all citizens agree on what constitutes a smart city in the first place. In Pune, with Ashwini Priyolkar, Kevin Lee.
Well, that's all we have time for, and it's a wrap on this edition of India Business Hour. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.